In this video, you're going to see me breaking down a 45-minute lesson into a series of short mini lessons with a reflective break in between each, so I can check in with the students, understand what's been learnt, and then decide on the best way to move forwards. This is going to be incredibly important for you to understand in order to prepare for your Part 3 test.
Right, okay, so to begin with, I'll talk you through everything. Okay, let's do that loop again.
Yep.
But because you've already sort of talked me through quite a lot of it, when I'm asking you to do things, it should feel quite familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, the words that you'll recognise and you'll have a rough idea of what they mean and the order of which we're doing things. Okay? We'll just do it once, we'll come back here, see how you felt, check in with you, and then we'll talk about what we're going to do next.
Okay.
Alright? So, with this car, to explain, it's a start-stop car, which means that it has got a key, which lives just in that little hole down, cubby hole down there. It doesn't have that sort of a key there. What it does have is a start-stop button there. Okay. So quite often, if you press the clutch down, if the car's been running for a while, you don't need to press the start-stop button. It will just automatically fire up on its own. If it doesn't, though, leave the clutch pedal all the way down and just press that button.
Yep.
Okay. So go for it. See if the engine fires up. Again, it's not going to do anything. Right. So it hasn't fired up. So press the start-stop button. Okay. Now the engine's running.
Yep.
Okay. So to begin with, all we want to do is get into first gear. Lovely. Find biting point. You're at biting point there. Okay. I'm going to do all the checking around, and I'm going to deal with any on-road situations. All right. So all I want you to do is focus on what you're doing with your hands and your feet, but try to resist the temptation to look down.
Okay.
All right. Try to look out there and do things more by feel than by sight. Okay.
Yep.
So, without doing anything with your left foot, release the handbrake in the same way as you did with the other hand. Right, there's nothing happening around us, it's all clear behind. Okay, so bring that clutch pedal up a fraction more, about the thickness of a pound coin. And another pound coin thickness, and we're off and running. Now bring it smoothly all the way up. Okay, and then put your left foot on that little platform over to the left.
On the accelerator?
Put your left foot, the one that's on the clutch at the moment.
Yep.
Move that over further to the left.
Okay.
And there's a little platform there. Got it?
Yep.
Steer to the left. Now I've got my feet hovering over the pedals, just in case I need to use them.
Yep.
And I can always reach across and grab the gear, grab the steering wheel or the gear stick if I need to. Alright, so we're all good.
Yep.
Okay, now we want a tiny little bit of power going through the car. Okay,
Accelerate,
yeah, good. Just a tiny bit. Oh, it's not a Ferrari. If you press it too hard, we're not going to go from 5 miles an hour to 155. It ain't going to happen. I wish it did sometimes, but it doesn't. Okay, so if it starts to go a little bit too fast for you, just ease off the gas pedal.
Yep.
That's nice. Good, so aim for the middle of the gap. That's nice positioning, like that. Okay, so we're going to keep driving down the road a little bit further. Now we're going to go for a gear change.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't need to rush through it. We do need a little bit more power through the car first, so that engine starts to sound a bit more high-pitched. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't rush anything. So clutch pedal all the way down and gas pedal up at the same time. Gear stick over to me and drag it back down. That's it. Now bring that clutch pedal up nice and smooth. And now you can squeeze the gas pedal again a little bit.
Okay.
Lovely. Nice smooth gear change.
I'm driving.
Very nice. Okay, you can't see it yet, but we're going to take the next road on the left. How are you with left and rights, by the way?
I'm alright, but I think if I'm thinking about it too much, I do get a little bit confused.
Don't worry about it. If you get confused, I'll help you out. Okay, so if I
I
say,
don't know if that makes sense. Like, I know my left and right.
that's
but-
right. It's so, again, it's so common. Okay, we have got a car behind us, but they're not causing us any problem whatsoever.
Okay.
Okay, but we are going to let them know that we're going to be turning in a moment.
Yeah.
So we'll put a left signal on. So that's down. Left signal is down.
Oh, sorry.
That's it. Steer around the cars.
Just see what I mean. It confuses me when I have to think
Fine.
about it.
Honestly, it's fine. Okay.
So
just have your foot hovering, your right foot hovering over the brake as we start to steer into this
Okay.
new road. Okay, look at where you want the car to go to next and let your hands just naturally steer you in that direction.
Okay.
You're a natural when it comes to steering, like that. Okay, now we just want a tiny little bit more power going through the car. Okay, so when we get up to the end of this road, we're going to turn right.
Okay.
Okay, but to remind you, when we get up there, it's a T-junction, so we need to stop first,
stop, yeah.
look, and then we'll get the car moving again. So as we're getting up to the end of the road, we want to take all of the power away from the wheels.
So off the accelerator.
Off the accelerator and completely down on the clutch pedal. Okay, now it'll just freewheel.
Yep.
Okay, if you don't feel we're quite going to make it, let's go back into first gear. Bring that clutch pedal back up to biting point. Let's move us over to the left slightly. Moves over in this direction slightly. Clutch pedal down again. Let it roll up to the end and then very, very gently brake. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Now, bring that clutch pedal back up to biting point
While I'm on the brake still.
while you're on the brake until you hear or feel that difference.
Yep.
Okay, come off the brake pedal. Just bring that clutch pedal up a fraction. Okay, I'm just going to pop the signal on. Right, just steer out. And I've got my feet ready in case we need to react to anything. Lovely, very nice. Straighten up. Ooh, that's right, don't worry. Tiny little bit of power. That's it, nice. Okay, and we're going to steer into this next road on the right. So let people know you're going in that direction. So if it makes it easier with your indicators, yeah, if you're going that way, push the indicator up. If
Yeah.
you're going that way, push the indicator down. We don't need an indicator here because it's not a junction, but it does steer sharply round to the left. Now, as soon as we've made the turn, we've got the end of the road almost immediately. So
Yeah.
again, we want to take that power away from the wheels when we get close to the end of the road. So we're going to be turning in that direction, so let people know where you're going. Okay. So as we're just getting really close to the giveaway line, take all the power away from the wheels.
Yeah.
So clutch all the way down and gently brake so the car then stops.
I'm not
Okay.
that gentle with the brake yet, am I?
Don't worry about it. Okay, so now figure out what you need to do with your feet to get the car rolling very
so
slowly
while I'm
forwards.
on the brake, slightly off the clutch. Like that. And then off the brake. Let it roll.
Okay, now we're going to pull over to the side. Okay, we want to
Okay.
stop alongside the curb, not across somebody's driveway.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go past the next two driveways and then we'll just pull over on the left. So start to aim the car to the left now. And as you feel like you're going to bump the curb, steer away from the curb again. And then straighten back up. And take the power away from the wheel. So clutch pedal all the way down. steer away from the curb, and gently brake to a stop. Okay, don't do anything with your feet. Hold them perfectly still, because at the moment the car isn't secure with the handbrake and we're still in gear. So if you took your feet off the pedals, we'll just leap forward and stall. So put it into neutral. Okay, we know it's in neutral because that's the wobbly bit.
Yep.
And then put the handbrake on. Okay, now you can take your feet off the pedals and the car won't do anything.
Oh, okay.
Right, okay. So, first time round, and based on the conversation that we had when I was in the driving seat, so far then, what have you picked up on? What have you learnt?
I think I'm sort of getting the basics of it. So the clutch is like the main one to focus on. I'm not great at braking yet.
As I said before,
indicators.
don't worry about that. It's...
Up for right, down for left. Basically, it does sort of just drive itself, doesn't it?
When in a diesel car, when you're going very, very, very slow, yes, it does. In a petrol car, it wouldn't. Okay, just to explain, if you're going to do any private practice at any time, and it's going to be in a petrol car, at very, very low speeds, you need to use a bit of power through the gas pedal as well.
Yep.
Okay, to get it moving as slow. But in a diesel car, it's quite forgiving. All right, so very low speeds, yeah, you don't really need to do an awful lot with the pedals. Anything else at all that you picked up on?
I don't know.
All right, how easy did you feel it was going round?
I found it quite easy. There's just still that panic in my mind. I don't know what about.
Is it just general anxiety and
I feel
nervousness?
a little bit more relaxed about it.
A bit more relaxed,
Yeah.
okay. So at the moment, if we were to use a score of say 1 to 10, if we're thinking about sort of like your level of anxiety and stress, 1, you're ice cold chilled. Okay, you couldn't be any cooler. 10, you're burning up with anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah. At the moment, where are you on
I'd
that
say
scale?
I've gone to like a 5.
A 5.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's give it another go. Let's check in with you and let's see if that score moves. It might stay exactly the same. It might go up. It might go down.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll try and figure out why. Okay. Obviously, we're trying to get it to go down, but it's not a guarantee. So we're going to do exactly the same loop again.
Yep.
This time round, do you want me to give you the same amount of help, or would you like me to give you a little bit less help?
Maybe same amount just for this one.
That's absolutely fine.
Second time.
Okay. So again, I'll do all of the checking around. I'll make sure
Yep.
it's safe and clear. I'll deal with any on-road situations. I'm ready to step in, jump in. Ignore that. It's just a car doing its thing. I'll jump in and rescue anything that I need to.
Yep.
All right. You just concentrate on what you're doing with your hands and your feet. And all we're trying to do is get your brain starting to work out what these new processes. It's like learning a new language almost. You know, you're trying to just figure out what all of these words mean and the order in which to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So clutch all the way down.
Clutch.
Yeah. Into first gear. Okay. Get to biting point. Okay, I've checked all around. It's safe. Release the handbrake. Get us rolling forward very, very, very slowly. Clutch all the way up, left foot over. That's it. A little bit of power, but not too much. For this next bend, just come off the gas pedal again
Yep.
and let the car just basically drive itself round. All you need to do is focus on the steering. Okay, I can't see anything coming the other way, but I've got my feet ready just in case. Okay, as soon as we can see it's clear and you straightened up, a bit of power. A little bit more power. Now we're going to go for a gear change. So clutch down, gas pedal up. Into into second. That's third.
Oh,
So
sorry.
just over and down, that's it.
Down, okay.
Clutch pedal up smoothly, and then a little bit of gas. Lovely. Very nice. Yeah, so just to explain, with all gear stick systems are the same. So even numbers at the top, odd numbers at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got my feet ready just in case anything comes in the opposite direction. Okay. And again, if I see anything coming towards us,
Yep.
I'll help you out.
Are we turning here?
We are, this next left,
Yep.
yeah. So just think about which way you want to press the indicator. And then just have your right foot hovering over the brake
Okay.
in case you need to use it. And then back on the gas pedal when you realise you don't. Don't worry, keep driving.
Okay.
Okay, when we get to the end of the road, we're going to turn right.
Okay.
So think about which way you're going to press the stop. That's it. Keep over to our side of the road. Okay, now we want to start taking that power away from the wheels. So clutch pedal all the way down. That's it. Let it roll up to the end and then gently brake to a stop. That's it. Okay, so into first gear, and then figure out what you need to do with your feet to get the car rolling again. I'm checking left and right. Okay, I've got my feet ready in case I notice anything coming that we need to stop for. You just concentrate on the control of the car. Lovely. Okay, a little bit of power. Turning right. Nice.
Am I good to just go rather than braking? Yeah.
Yes, unless we can see something that we need to react to. But you were going very, very slow, so
Yeah.
we had plenty of time to respond to anything if we needed to. Good. Tiny bit of power. And then ease off the gas pedal again, just so the car slows down a fraction for the next bend. Because it is very tight, and we can't see what's around the other side. Turn left at the end, so let people know where you're going. That's it. And we're going to take the power away from the wheels. Great.
Did I do it too early?
A fraction too early. So then just get us creeping forward very, very, very slow. Okay, and then we're going to pull over to a stop again. Always the same, whenever you're pulling over to the side of the road, you begin to aim the car towards the curb. Before you feel like the front wheels are going to bump, steer away from it, and then back to straight, and take the power away from the wheels again.
And then brake, yeah. And then
Handbrake neutral, or neutral handbrake. And then you can take your feet away from the pedals. Right, okay, so let's check in with you then. Before we set off on that go round, you put yourself on a score of 5 on that 1 to 10 scale of anxiety. Has that moved?
Yeah, I think I've gone down to like a 3. It's just the getting used to everything and knowing when to do it and...
Okay. So you asked me to give you the same level of help on that last go round. I don't know if you realised it or not, but I actually gave you a lot less help.
Okay.
Because it was clear to me that as I was about to say do something, you were already in the process of doing it. So there was no point in me telling you because your brain's already starting to work it out for itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so if in any lesson that we ever have, if it's clear to me that you know what you're doing, I'm just going to leave you to get on with things.
Okay.
Okay, if you look stressed, if you look confused or something's happening and it's not quite going according to plan, then that's the cue for me to jump in and start helping out.
Yeah.
Okay? But the more you can figure things out for yourself, the faster you'll learn and the more confident you'll be. Because you're coming up with your own solutions rather than just listening to me bleating on.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we run the risk at some point I'm going to develop into a comfort blanket and you're going to be leaning on me too heavily.
Yeah.
And you're going to be relying on me to sort things out for you. And then when I'm not there,
I'm not going to know what to do.
it's really going to knock your confidence. Yeah, so right from the early stages, we're always trying to build confidence into things, but we're only going to do it in little layers.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm never going to go from where we are now to asking you to drive at 70 miles an hour on the A64.
Yeah.
Yeah, it isn't going to happen. So we'll go at your pace, and from time to time, I'll just gently push you on a little bit. Okay, but part of your responsibility in the way that we work together, Tyler, is if you feel uncomfortable at any time in terms of the pace of your development, you feel like you're in a situation that's making you feel uncomfortable, you want to turn it down a notch or two, that's fine. Just let me know. Okay?
Okay.
How are you feeling at the moment?
Okay.
Cool. Right, so we've got choices. Okay? So from here, we can basically do the same thing, but we can extend the route a little bit. Now, in extending the route, and it is only literally by one road, really. Okay, so you know the main road that goes from Peter Wynn Tyres to the primary school.
Yeah.
Okay, we could bring that road into that little loop that we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, that road normally isn't massively busy, but it often has other vehicles coming up and down it as well. Okay, so it would be the first time probably you'll encounter anything that might freak you out a little bit because it's coming towards you, but we're not going to hit it. Okay, you might also have vehicles coming up quite close behind you because you're probably going to be a bit slower than they are.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it. You know, let me stress about anybody that's behind. But to compensate for that extra level of anxiety, I would talk you through again exactly what to do as we're going down that road.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's option one. So most of it over to you, but me helping you out when we get down to that junction. We're going to turn out near Peak Wind Tyres.
Yeah.
Option two is we carry on doing the same loop that we've been doing, and me just handing over a bit more responsibility to you to the point where you might just be able to do it all pretty much by yourself, with me just giving you very, very basic guidance and advice, which would be something like change gear,
Yeah.
bring us to a stop, get us moving again.
Should we try option 1?
Option one.
Yeah, should we try it?
Yeah, okay, cool. The first section is exactly the same as what you've already done, but of course every time we get the car moving, different things can happen. So again, for now, let me worry about on-road situations, checking all around, making sure it's safe and clear. I'll let you know if we've got anybody behind or coming towards us that's going to cause us a problem, and I'll leave it over to me to deal with them. All right?
Okay.
But pretty much, if we can, let's leave that first section of driving up to you.
Yeah.
When we get down to the T junction, where we then turn left, heading towards the primary school. As we're coming up to the T-junction, that's when I'm going to jump in and I'll talk you through exactly what to do.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Over to you when you're ready then.
Okay. I think. Am I doing that right?
I'll let you know if you're not, okay? Good. Nice. It's safe all around. I've checked. There's nobody coming. Lovely. Very nice. So for the time being, I'm going to leave it over to you.
Okay.
Nice. Good. Like it. Now along this road somewhere,
Yeah.
but I'll leave it up to you. Put a gear change in.
Okay.
Nice.
Am I carry on and going straight?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm going to give you plenty of notice when we need to start changing things a little bit, yeah? So if I'm not saying anything, you just carry on as you are.
Yep.
So just to point out, when we do get down to the end of the road and we're going to be turning left near peak wind tyres, all I'm going to ask you to do is exactly the same as what you've been doing already. There's no difference,
Yeah.
okay?
It's just that there's going to be a bit more traffic.
There might be other vehicles around, and that's just going to get in your head, and I'm not saying it definitely will, but it may well cause that stress level to go up a little bit and it spikes. And then what that tends to do is it stops your brain from reminding you what you're doing with your feet. So suddenly it can feel like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right? You do, because you've already done it, but it might just feel different, okay, which is why I'm going to help you out. Okay, so we can see the end of the roads coming up. Okay. So we're going this way, so we're going to let people know that's where we're going. Pop it on again, and it's just cancelled on you.
So,
And as we get towards the bend where it curves round, take the power away from the wheels and steer to the left and stop. That's it. Into first gear. I think that's third. Okay. Get to biting point. Okay. Come off the brake and fraction above biting point. Start to steer out. The road's completely empty at the moment. Okay, so keep us over to the left. We can drive in a cycle track, that's fine. It's there for us to use as well. A little bit of gas, a bit more gas, and put a gear change in. So the reason that's sounding quite angry there,
it's because I'm still on the clutch.
on the gas pedal.
On the gas pedal.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So nothing horrible happened, it just sounded a bit ugly,
Yeah.
you know? Okay, so we're going to leave it in second as we approach the roundabout.
Yeah.
We don't want to stop unless we have to. Okay. Now, do you know who you need to give priority to at roundabouts?
No.
Right. Anybody coming from your side, from the right.
Okay.
Okay. So all I want is to have your right foot hovering over the brake, left foot hovering over the clutch. I'm doing
Yeah.
the same with mine. Okay. but it's all clear. So a little bit of gas, a little bit more gas. Let people know you're coming off the roundabout because we're coming off this exit. Okay, a little bit more gas, and we're turning left immediately. Okay, come off the gas a little bit, steer into this next road on the left. A little bit of gas just to get us up the hill. Okay, and at the end of this road, we're going to turn right. It's a one-way street, so we're going to position ourselves over onto the right and take the power away from the wheels as you get close to the giveaway line and come to a stop. Okay, into first gear. Okay, if you're not sure, do it again. That's it. Now we're definitely in first, okay? So, because we can't see anything to the right, we can't just pull out and hope for the best.
Yeah.
So, with your clutch at biting point, the moment you feel the car start to roll forward, just press that clutch pedal down a fraction, then up again, down again, up again, down again, up again, and it will just creep us out very, very, very slow. I've got my feet hovering over the pedals as well, just in case. So clutch come up a fraction, down a fraction, up a fraction, down a fraction, up a fraction, down a fraction. Steer to the right at the same time. Up a fraction, down a fraction, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and you're out. So aim us back over towards the curb, and then we'll bring the car to a stop.
Okay.
And then we'll block somebody's driveway up. Steer away from the curb. And stop. And brake neutral. And neutral. That's it. And then you can release your feet. Cool. How was that?
Yeah, I feel loads better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. How was it? I know there were no other vehicles, but how was it getting out on the bigger road?
It was a little bit daunting, but I think it's what makes me feel a little bit better being out there, because I know I have to be more careful.
Cool. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm giving you less instructions as well.
Yeah.
I'm still giving you a little nudge, like gear change, stop the car, get us moving. But
Yeah.
you're doing everything pretty much for yourself. I'm just reminding you when you need to do it. So it's more of a timing thing than it is, if you like, you don't know what you're doing with your hands and your feet. Because whenever I've said to you last time round, okay, take the power away from the wheels, clutch down, and then you gently braked to bring us to a stop without me saying anything else at all.
Yep.
Okay, and that's it. You know, it doesn't matter whether we're doing this style of driving or we're going through the high street or we're out in York and you're coming up to a red traffic light or the back of a traffic queue or any other situation where you need to bring the car to a stop. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Clutch down, brake. Every time you want to get the car moving from a stationary position on the flat, it's basically exactly the same technique.
Yep.
Up to biting point, feel and hear the car get there, release whatever brake you've got that's holding the car still, bring it up a fraction more, and we're going to start rolling.
Yep.
Yeah? Again, it doesn't matter whether it's here, in Pock, in York, in Leeds, in Hull, in Edinburgh, London, doesn't matter. It's exactly the same process. Yeah? Cool. Right, so again, we've got options. We could do the same loop again, but transfer a little bit more responsibility over to you. Or we can extend the route a bit further. Extending the route would mean basically doing the same initial circuit, but when we get down to the end of the road, rather than turning left like you did last time, we'd turn right, past peak wind tyres. At the end of the road, turn left, heading down towards where the petrol station is.
Yep.
Go past the petrol station, and then where the walking clinic is, just before that little row of shops that's set back from the road, there's a left turn.
Yep.
We'd turn left there. We'd go almost up to the end of that road, and then we turn left again, and it'll bring us back up towards the primary school. Can you sort of visualise that?
Kind of, yeah.
So it's not a massive extension, but it is definitely
Just added more.
gonna add a little bit more into the mix, because we will get other traffic.
Okay.
It'd be a miracle if we do all of that and we don't
There's no
encounter
traffic.
anybody else. All right, and it could be cars, it could be vans, it could be lorries, it might be motorbikes, it might be cyclists, it might be pedestrians. We don't know, but I would talk you through how to do with it as we were doing it.
Let's try that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Over to you when you're ready. Then I'm going to continue to look all around and make sure it's safe. We will get you doing that eventually, but let's not worry about that for now.
Yep.
Okay, let's just concentrate on getting your brain figuring all of this stuff out that you're doing with your hands and your feet. All right, first, and then we'll bring other things into the equation afterwards. Okay, so over to you when you're ready. Get us moving away. I've checked all around, it's safe. Now, just because you have to slow right down for this next bend, I'd leave it in first gear.
Okay.
If I were driving, I'd probably go into second now and then back into first for the bend, but
Yeah.
yeah, let's not overcomplicate things when we don't need to.
Please.
But along this road, once you've got a little bit of power into the car, put a gear change in. Just to remind you, if you don't want that horrible sound when you're changing gear,
Yeah.
take your right foot off the gas pedal as you're changing gear.
Have I done that yet?
Nice, lovely. Very smooth gear change like that.
Whew.
And essentially that's it. So going from, we're not going to do it, but going from second to third basically is the same process.
Yeah.
Third to fourth, same again. Fourth to fifth, same again. Fifth to sixth, same again. Of course, you're moving the gear stick in a slightly different direction, but what you're doing with your feet is exactly the same.
Yeah. Nice houses down here, aren't they?
They are nice, aren't they? Yeah. Oh, well, you must be relaxing if you've got time to look around and have a nosy at the houses. Don't worry about that car.
So I can keep going, yeah?
Yeah. We have priority, but had they pulled out, it wouldn't have caused us a problem. Okay, so we're going to turn right at the end here. So I'm going to stop. So that's it. I'll step in and start to give you more help. So as we get towards the give way line, we're going to take that power away from the wheels. That's it. And slide it into first gear so we're ready to go. Okay, up to biting point and then come off the brake. Creep us forward very, very slow with that up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down motion. Clutch all the way down. Clutch all the way down, stop, but wait for the car to pass, and then that up and down again motion to creep us out. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, steer now, steer rapidly, that's it. Keep bringing that clutch up, just gradually, that's it, just smoothly. Lovely, straighten up. Cool, a little bit of power. Gonna go left at the end. Okay, don't worry about that lorry. They're not going to crash into us. Okay, when we get up to the give way line, take the power away from the wheels. Okay, and steer to the left as we come up to the give way line. So we're already pointing in the right direction as we start to pull out. Okay, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down on the clutch. Creep us out, creep us out, creep us out. Bring the clutch up smoothly all the way, straighten up. A little bit of gas. A little bit of gas. A bit more gas. Change gear. Okay. Start to steer a little bit out to the right now. Straighten up. Hold that position. Let's get a little bit of gas. A bit more gas. Don't worry about those cars. Don't worry about. They're not going to. Believe you me, they don't want to crash into us as much as we don't want to crash into them. So a little bit more gas. Okay. Where the brown sign is on the lamppost, that's where we're going to be turning left.
Okay.
Okay. Probably a little bit early, so just cancel that signal. Because if I were behind you, I might think you're pulling over to the left and not turning left. Okay. So let's go a little bit further. Now we can put it on. Okay, now because we want the speed to come down and we also want to have your right foot over the brake, just have it hovering over there, start to look at where the car's going to next. Okay, start to straighten up, back on the gas pedal. Okay. A little bit more gas. Now at the moment we're just going to keep our position and go for that gap. Okay. There is a car coming towards us, but they're going to see that we're coming through, and if they're coming in the same direction as us, they'll just ease off and let us go through. Okay. Okay, we're going to take the next road on the left where that red car's going. So again, as you start to steer in, take your right foot and have it hovering over the brake in case you need to react to something that's just out of sight. But if you can see it's clear, back on the gas pedal again. Okay, keep going on the gas pedal. This car's going to hold back and let us through.
Okay.
Okay. We can see from the road sign it's our priority, but we could see they were slowing down as well. Yeah. So we knew they were going to hold back and wait for us. At the roundabout this time we're going to go right. Okay.
Is that too early?
No, that's fine. Okay, so again, have your foot hovering over the brake and left foot over the clutch in case we need to use it. Drive on. Okay, so steer around in that direction.
Oh, sorry.
That's it, that's okay, that's fine. So we're just going back to our start point.
I was just looking at the arrows there, got confused.
Put a left signal on to let people know we're coming off. That's it. A little bit more power, not much though. Okay, so off the gas, steering to the left, and back on the gas to take us up the slope. Straighten up. Okay, we're going to turn right at the end of the road. So again, we need to be over on the right hand side. As you get to the giveaway line, think about what you want to do with your feet. Okay, so it just stops a little bit short, so into first gear. Okay, because we want to stop with our front wheels just behind the giveaway line. So just creep us forward with that up, down, up, down, up, down technique. Don't worry, clutch down. That's right, you just walked the clutch a bit too much whilst you still have it on the brake. Right? So up, down, up, down, up, down with the clutch. It has a name, by the way, it's called feathering the clutch, but basically that's what it is. Aim us towards the curb, bring us to a stop, and then we'll have a chat. Okay, if you have a look in your door mirror now,
We're too far off.
quite a big gap between us and the curb, and that could be confusing to anybody that's coming up from behind, because if you were driving up behind me now and you saw me stuck in this position, you'll probably be thinking, what are they doing? Are they parked or are they about to go? So we don't want to be confusing to people. So just put us forward using the techniques that you already know. Just take us a little bit further up the road and get us a bit closer to the curb. Steer away. That's great. So now if you look in your door mirror, it's a nice little gap, which is absolutely ideal. Right, okay.
Okay.
So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot more comfortable, I think.
You think? What?
I'm feeling a lot more comfortable doing it.
Good. Well, that's the main thing. And a lot of driving, yeah, particularly when it comes to confidence, it's a personal feeling.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So, you know, I can sit here and tell you all day long you're doing fine, but if you're not feeling it, then you're not feeling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's however you feel is the most important thing. From a technical point of view, what I could tell you is what you've been doing is fine.
Okay.
Okay. Is it totally fluid? Is it totally effortless? No. But we're not expecting it to be at this stage. But the basics are there.
Yeah.
Okay.